Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Masa and welcome back to Space Engineers. So yeah, I thought I'd do something a little different today and show you a design I've been working on for like the last week and a bit. And yes, see what you guys think about it. So feel free to comment below. Leave a like if you like it or whatever, and yeah, let's get into it and show you the build. All right, cool. Okay, so what you see behind me is my version of an A-10 Warthog. If you're unfamiliar with that design, I'll put a picture up in one of the corners of the screen. It isn't vanilla in Space Engineers, but I'll leave a list of the mods I've used. And it'll be in the description, or it'll be in a corner of the screen somewhere. But, the most notable one is the plane parts, which are easy enough to do. But, yeah. So, the primary armament is the main cannon, which is tucked away nicely here into the hull. Then you have your exterior wing-mounted rocket launchers. Each one you have to manually load because they aren't actually connected to the system. And yeah, the cockpit is up here. You can jump into it, but you have to get the right alignment. View is pretty good. You've got damn near 180-ish from wingtip to wingtip. You can look straight up, and you have a pretty good view out the front too if you decide to fly this thing in first person. As for everything else, you've got your main screen down the bottom there, which indicates your power usage and your fuel. And then you've got your HUD, which is your speed indicator here, your... no. Which one is it? I think that's the altimeter, that's the speed indicator, and this is your artificial horizon. You can change the colours if you want to, but I prefer to keep them at red. You've got your indication lights, which are pretty cool. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be one on the bottom or not, but I can always add that later. And then you have your screen for your faction icon and the tail number of the aircraft, which is pretty cool. Moving from the exterior to the interior, we have the main cannon, which is hooked to the main central line all the way to the engine. But we also have a connector up front for air quotes air-to-air refueling, so if you figure out how to do that, be sure to send me a link or something, which would be cool. You've got two programming blocks each side, so you need one to actually run the wheels since they're on a rotor, and yeah, just to save space, but the other one's a spare if you want to run some other script. We have the engine, the hydrogen engine, which provides most of the power to the aircraft, but not all of it. We have that connected through two zones up in here to the hydrogen generator, which is cool. And then we have a medium cargo container, which links up to the fuel tanks in the wings. But that's where all of your ice goes, and since it's central to the aircraft is basically balanced around it. But from there, wrong one. From there, the tank actually connects to the container connects to the fuel tanks. Did not mean to do that. And there's 4 tanks per wing. Each tank holds 7,000 liters of hydrogen, which is pretty sick. You've got your wings. Each one of these 1x5s, or anything with 5 of the thing, actually produces lift. Anything else is just supplementary to the actual aircraft. And moving on from there, we have the large battery, but there are also 4 small batteries in each wing as kind of a backup if need be. And in the tail, we have 4 flare launchers that you can load manually through 2 cargo containers that aren't linked up to anything else in the aircraft. But yeah, once they go off, it's a pretty nice show, which I'll show you in a minute. Get rid of that. As for the control scheme, if I can get into my own cockpit. There we go. Alright, so, oops. First things first, we have the camera, which is mounted underneath in that bulbous part here, which is pretty cool. I've used it on my DC-3 model as well, but yeah. So that's mounted in there if you need extra long view of each target. Oops. We also have the primary gun, we have the missiles, and we have both flare launchers on this bar. Each flare set is one on each side of it, is one from each side of the aircraft, so like the front pair and the back pair. On the next tab, you have the air brakes. One from each wing will open up. With those, you have your engine controls and retracting the landing gear and turning on the lights, the flight lights. So that's pretty cool. Before we take it into flight, I also want to show you what this main cannon can do. So set up 2 aircraft over here, pretty much exactly spaced and set up facing these targets. Each one is 10 layers. This one is light armor and this other one is heavy armor, both on the small grid, so they aren't too powerful compared to the large grid versions, which is like huge compared to them, but you get what you give. So yeah, let's just jump in here. Switch her on. Put on the cannon. Give it a burst. And check that out. So we've gone through the first one, second one, third one. Oh shit, we've actually gone all the way through on the light armor. Hello. So that's pretty good. And that's 10 layers of light armor. So you can imagine what that'll do to a small vehicle, but if not, I'll show you that in a minute. So press Y, camera view, activate the cannon, short burst, and how far we get through this one? 1, 2, 3, only 4 on the heavy armor. I'm sure with a longer burst we could actually cut through the whole thing, so that's pretty sick. Missiles are just the standard ones from base game engineers, so that's the thing. Alright, so now that we've done the test, I'll show you how it flies, and we'll go from there. Alright, so if you've never played Space Engineers before, the simple gist of it is, if the wheel is not connected directly to the grid that has the seat, you can't control it unless you have a script which runs through the programming block. So since I have that script, I can control the wheels while on the ground. That script, if you're actually interested in, is Whip's subgrid wheel control script. It's pretty simple to do. But yeah. Alright, so let's get this thing going. So let's put it, turn the engines on, check the flaps, the air brakes I mean, and then we'll get this thing going. Optimal takeoff speed is around 50-ish, but yeah, she just climbs up out of nowhere and it just goes. So you hit 6 to unlock the gear, you press 7 to reverse them up into the hull, press 6 again to lock, and you are airborne. Which is pretty cool. Get those signals out of here. She's agile, so that's pretty cool. Though, with all things in Space Engineers, if you don't have thrusters in all directions, it kind of drifts just a tiny bit, but that's alright. Max speed's around 110, 111 meters per second in level flight, but you can probably push it higher if you have any sort of extra thrusters you want to play around with. Alright, so I've also set up some targets over here on this platform and just show you how good the weapons are. So let's just increase throttle, coming for the dive. At a longer range they aren't really that good, but they're good enough to do some damage. Come back around. Swap to the missiles. Let's check those out. So yeah, that's basically how you fight and fly this thing. As for the landing, optimal landing speed again is around 50, but it's under 100. So 6 to unlock, 7 to reverse, you wait 2 seconds, 3 seconds at most, lock them again. Throttle all the way up, extend the air brakes if you come in too high, extend the other ones, touchdown. Hit the brakes if you want to. And yeah, that's how you fly and take off and land this thing. Though it does have a neat little trick like the actual A-10 does, in the fact that it can land with its wheels up, and now I'm just praying that I can actually do this when I cockpit long up again. So yeah, we'll hit 6, we'll reverse the gear, wait for them to go up, hit 6 again, take off the parking brake. So like, this is in case the rotors are damaged, or if you just can't land on all 3 wheels or whatever, you bring it in gently like this, sort of. Again, under 100, closer to 50 if possible. And yeah, you just gently slide her in on those wheels. Okay, 9 times out of 10 I can do that. Sort of. I'll try that again. Momentum going. Okay, I have done it before. It's just really annoying that I can't do it now. But, yeah, as always, I hope you've enjoyed. My name's been Mossa, and this has been my A-10. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and, yeah, see you in the next one. Later.